The iPhone 17 is here. Polished, powerful, and pricey. Apple promises smoother performance, brighter screens, and new durability upgrades. But at a rumored $1,099 starting price, most of us can't help but ask, is it really worth it? Because lurking on the horizon is a new challenger, the Tesla Pi phone. Rumored at just $249, it's a device that could shake the smartphone industry the way Tesla cars shook the auto industry. A tougher build, repair-friendly design, Starlink off-grid messaging, a 4-camera utility rig, and a lean operating system designed for long-term stability, all at a fraction of the iPhone's price. So today, let's go feature by feature and see if Apple's latest flagship can justify 4 figures, or if Tesla's Pi phone is about to obliterate the market. Performance and power. Apple's A19 and A19 Pro chips are tuned for everyday comfort. Apps load fast, games run smoothly, and vapor cooling keeps your hands from burning up during marathon use. Heavy titles like Genshin Impact or console-grade racing sims push right to 120 Hz without dropping frames. With Wi-Fi 7 support and top-up charging that reaches 50% in just 20 minutes, the iPhone 17 delivers dependable performance with the polish Apple is known for. But here's the flip side. That performance comes at a price. The advanced silicon, the custom cooling, the tight ecosystem, it all adds to the $1,099 price tag. And when the battery starts to fade in 2 to 3 years, you'll likely experience the same issue Apple users have for a decade: performance throttling. Apple's software deliberately slows chips when the battery ages, leaving you with a phone that feels weaker long before you're ready to upgrade. Tesla's Pi phone takes a very different approach: power to price ratio. Instead of chasing benchmark scores that only matter on spec sheets, Tesla uses efficient, optimized chips designed for everyday tasks: messaging, streaming, navigation, and photography. The focus isn't on being the fastest phone in the lab, it's on being the most consistent phone in your hand. No throttling, no sudden slowdowns after a year of use. Tesla's philosophy is simple: if you pay $249 for a device, it should work at the same speed on day 900 as it did on day 1. The chips are engineered to stay cool without expensive vapor chambers, which means less wasted power, longer lifespan, and a phone that doesn't burn your fingers during long calls or gaming. And here's the kicker. Because Tesla manufactures much of its own hardware stack, from chips to batteries, it can pass savings directly to consumers. The Pi phone may not post record-breaking benchmark scores, but it promises smooth performance where it matters: switching between apps, navigating with maps, editing photos, or watching 4K video, all without the 4-figure cost. So while iPhone 17 flexes technical superiority and wins on raw power, Tesla Pi asks a more practical question. Do you need all that bragging rights horsepower? Or do you need a phone that stays reliable for years and for just $249? For the majority of users, people who check email, scroll social media, take photos, stream videos, and use maps, the Tesla Pi phone delivers 90% of the experience at less than 20% of the cost. That's not just competition, that's disruption. Battery and charging. Apple sticks to its proven formula: incremental improvements. The iPhone 17 comes with a slightly bigger battery, refined efficiency, and fast charging that tops up to 50% in just 20 minutes when paired with a high-watt charger. It's quick, it's convenient, and for most users, it's good enough. But here's the catch. When that battery begins to fade, and which is inevitable after about 800 charge cycles, the story changes. Replacing an iPhone battery isn't simple. It's a trip to the Apple Store or an authorized repair center, and you'll be looking at $100 or more for the swap. Plus, Apple's history of performance throttling on aging batteries means your once speedy iPhone can start to feel sluggish long before you're ready to replace it. In short, you get speed up front, but at a steep long-term cost. Now here's where the Tesla Pi phone completely flips the script. It packs a massive 5,000 mAh battery, larger than what you'll find in most flagships, designed for 1,000 charge cycles. That's nearly 3 years of daily charging before you even hit 80% capacity. And the user serviceability? Game changer. Thanks to pull-tab standard screws and a simple plug-in connector, the Pi phone's battery can be swapped out in under 10 minutes at an independent repair shop, or even at home if you're confident with a screwdriver. Cost: just $30. No Apple Store, no locked ecosystem, no waiting in line. But Tesla doesn't stop there. Borrowing efficiency tricks from its EV division, the Pi phone is tuned for low power drain and high endurance, meaning you can expect 1 to 2 full days of light to moderate use per charge. That's double the practical longevity many iPhone users report. And here's the real shocker: charging speed. Tesla has been pioneering ultra-fast charging technology for its cars, and those innovations trickle down to the Pi phone. Reports suggest it could hit 60 to 70% charge in under 15 minutes, even faster than the iPhone 17. For busy people, travelers, or anyone who hates being tethered to the wall, that's not just an upgrade, it's freedom. So who wins? Apple gives you speed in the short term, quick top-ups but expensive and inconvenient repairs down the line. Tesla gives you the full package: a bigger battery, faster charging, user-friendly repairability, lower cost, and longer life. In other words, Apple's charging is a convenience. Tesla's is a revolution in ownership. Durability and build. Apple continues to refine durability with Ceramic Shield 2, offering better scratch resistance than earlier iPhones. It's a solid step forward. Most users won't need a screen protector right away. The phone is also IP68 rated, surviving up to 6 meters underwater for 30 minutes. Add to that Apple's expansion of repair rights, which now allow independent shops to use genuine Apple parts with calibration support, and you have a device that's more survivable and slightly easier to maintain than previous models. But here's the catch: repairs are still complicated and costly. Apple's designs rely on thin glass panels and proprietary fasteners, meaning even small accidents, a cracked back glass, a dented corner, can easily lead to 300+ repair bills. And while Apple has made steps toward being repair-friendly, the reality is, you're still tethered to their ecosystem. Tesla's Pi phone takes durability to another level entirely. Instead of fragile design with minimal tolerance for accidents, Tesla builds the Pi phone like a tool meant to last years. The chassis is made from 7000 series aluminum, with 1.2 to 1.5 millimeters walls that resist bending, twisting, and drops. That's aircraft-grade toughness in your pocket. Internal ribs reinforce the four corners, where phones usually take the hardest hits. Drop it once, and you won't be staring at spiderweb cracks the next morning. A raised bezel lip gives the screen a buffer zone. Place it face down on a desk, and the glass won't even touch the surface. The cameras, often the first part to scratch, are protected by sapphire crystal covers. With a Mohs hardness of 9, sapphire shrugs off sand, keys, and coins, where Apple's glass, rated 6 to 7, can scratch in a single pocket ride. And yes, Tesla still includes IP68 water and dust seals, matching Apple's durability rating without the fragility of thin glass. Where Apple locks users into specialized tools and proprietary screws, Tesla Pi embraces repairability by design. No pentalobe screws, no glue nightmares. Instead, Tesla uses common screws like Torx and Phillips, making it possible for independent shops, or even determined users, to open the phone with basic tools. And repairs aren't just possible, they're practical and cheap. Need a new screen? You don't need heat guns or adhesives that risk damaging your phone. You simply unscrew, swap, and move on. Where an iPhone screen replacement might run $250 to $350, Tesla Pi aims for a fraction of that cost. This design philosophy is what sets Tesla apart. The Pi phone isn't just designed to survive, it's designed to be fixed easily when it doesn't. While iPhone 17 makes repairs possible, Tesla Pi makes them practical and cheap. Display and visibility. Apple's OLED with 3000 nits peak brightness and ProMotion, 120 Hz is stunning. Outdoors, it's readable even in harsh sun. Anti-glare coatings reduce reflections in stores and offices. Tesla Pi opts for a flat panel anti-glare finish. Reflectance drops from 4% to just 1.5% to 2%. Add outdoor brightness tuning, and you've got a phone built for sunlight, fieldwork, or outdoor adventure. Apple wins on sheer beauty. Tesla wins on practical readability, because not all of us live under perfect lighting. Cameras. Apple's triple 48 megapixels fusion system, plus a sharp 18 megapixel selfie cam, is excellent for creators. ProRes, Apple Log 2, RAW capture, Gen Lock syncing, the tools are there, but let's be honest, most iPhone users don't use half these features. Tesla goes for utility and speed with a 4-lens rig. Main lens, 48 to 50 megapixels, large 1 by 1.3 sensor, optical image stabilization, plus electronic image stabilization for smooth video. Ultra lens 48 megapixels with autofocus, plus true macro, 3 to 4 centimeters focus distance. Telephoto lens, 5 times periscope, 120 millimeter equivalent, plus clean 2x in sensor crop. Utility lens, 50 millimeters equivalent for portraits, documents, telemacro. Features tuned for real life. One-tap macro, instant 2x 5x toggles, optical stabilization that absorbs big shakes. A document preset that straightens receipts, boosts contrast, optical character recognition text on device, and saves as PDFs. While iPhone 17 courts cinematographers, Tesla Pi says, "You're living life. Here's the fastest way to capture it." Off-grid connectivity. Apple has been pushing satellite services since the iPhone 14, and the iPhone 17 continues that effort. You now get satellite SOS and roadside assistance features. If you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, you can send short emergency messages or call for roadside help. It's a great feature, but it's still emergency first. There are limitations. You need a clear line of sight to the sky. Messages can take time to send, and the system is primarily designed to connect you with Apple's partner services, not for everyday texting or browsing. In short, it's a safety net, not a full connectivity solution. Tesla takes the concept and cranks it to a level Apple can't match. The Pi phone leverages Starlink direct-to-cell technology. This doesn't just mean emergency SOS, it means regular LTE signals coming directly from satellites. To the Pi phone, a Starlink satellite in orbit looks like a cell tower in the sky. That means no bulky antennas strapped to your phone. No special accessories needed. No weird apps or complicated menus. Just normal texting, calling, and data, even if you're standing on top of a mountain, camping in the desert, or living in a rural town with no cell service. This is true off-grid connectivity. Tesla didn't stop at satellite access. The Pi phone is expected to include multi-SIM capability and intelligent roaming. That means in cities and towns, you'll always connect to the strongest available terrestrial network first. But when towers vanish, you don't lose service. You simply roll over to satellite LTE seamlessly. Now add offline maps and cache turn-by-turn directions into the mix, and you've got a phone that keeps working even when everyone else's devices become paperweights. Whether you're hiking in the Rockies, driving cross-country, or caught in a storm that knocks towers offline, your Pi phone still navigates, still texts, still works. And here's the jaw-dropper. Tesla is rumored to integrate Starlink's lifetime free internet for Pi phone owners. Imagine this. No carrier contract, no monthly bill, no 100 a month data plan. You buy the phone once, and you stay connected for life, anywhere on Earth. For people living in rural areas where big carriers either don't bother building towers or charge obscene prices for poor service, this is a revolution. Suddenly, you don't just own a phone. You own a gateway to the internet. No matter where you are, no matter how remote you live. It's not just about adventure travel. It's about leveling the digital playing field. A farmer in the Midwest, a teacher in a small village, or a family living off the grid, all of them could access the same internet as someone living in Silicon Valley. That's a democratization of technology Apple simply isn't even attempting. So here's the bottom line. Apple's satellite service is a safety net, good in emergencies, but limited. Tesla's Pi phone is a lifeline and beyond. Always connected, free internet for life, and a phone that doesn't care if you're in Manhattan, the Amazon rainforest, or standing on the South Pole. For travelers, adventurers, rural families, and anyone who values reliable connectivity over polished marketing, Tesla Pi isn't just the clear winner. It's the only phone in the conversation. Software and privacy. iOS 18.5 brings polish, broad app support, and iCloud syncing, but it also brings yearly feature changes, default tracking, and nagging updates that often slow older devices. Tesla's OS is designed for stability and control. Security patches on a fixed cadence. Features optional. Update when you want. Dual partitions, AB slots, for safe rollbacks if updates fail. Zero bloatware. Every app removable except core essentials. Overnight idle drain under 1%. Offline USB-C backups to SSDs. No forced cloud. Per-app network kill switches. A writes log showing every sensor and network access. It's the anti-bloat, pro-privacy phone. Less flash, more ownership. Cost of ownership. iPhone 17 base price, over $1,000. Add accessories, repairs, and upgrades, and the 5-year cost can top $1,800 to $2,000. Tesla Pi phone rumored price, $249. Battery replacement, $30. Repairs, cheap and independent friendly. No locked parts, no forced upgrades, no ecosystem tax. Over 5 years, you could own a Pi phone, replace the battery twice, and still spend less than a quarter of one iPhone 17. Conclusion. So where does that leave us? The iPhone 17 is polished, powerful, and premium. But it's also expensive, fragile to repair, and tied to Apple's yearly upgrade treadmill. The Tesla Pi phone is tougher, cheaper, easier to fix, privacy-focused, and connected anywhere on Earth. It delivers practical value that could completely change how we think about smartphones. So the question is simple. Would you spend over $1,000 on an iPhone 17? Or $249 on a Tesla Pi phone that gives you 80% of the features at 20% of the price? Drop your answer in the comments. Type Tesla if you'd go Pi phone, or Apple if you'd stick with iPhone. I'm curious to see how divided this community really is. And if you want to stay ahead of the tech revolution, smash that like button, subscribe, and join us on this journey. The future of smartphones might not belong to Apple, it might belong to Tesla.